guys don't have to sit there and watch the nonsense. You're not going to find Epstein files on here or mass shootings on this channel. Today is February 9th, 2026. It's minus 3 degrees Celsius here in southwestern Manitoba. That's 26.6 degrees Fahrenheit for you guys. Cool. So yeah, we're good to go. So how was everyone's weekend? Lots of news. So Chinese EV companies this weekend took a bit of hit in the stock exchange due to the fact that I think people are worried about the quality of these EV vehicles reaching to European markets. They might not be as good as they say they're out to be. So I think this is kind of what's happening with the stock markets with some of these Chinese EV companies, and I guess we're going to see what happens with the stock market throughout this week. I do expect a lot of these electric vehicle companies to do eventually take a hit. They can't be all perfect, if you know what I mean. And back to those Chinese vehicles, those 49,000 Chinese EV vehicles that are coming from China as part of the deal to get Canadian grain out to market and fisheries grain and meat, poultry as such, getting that stuff out to market. There will be a 6.1% tariff on those Chinese e-vehicles. So, of course, people message me as soon as I do this. Everyone knows 4 o'clock. And then Trump said last night in a press conference, live press conference, that India will stop buying oil from Russia. But these are just words from Trump. I haven't actually seen any. Hey Shannon, how's it going? I haven't really seen any actual like steadfast like proof. A lot of stuff that comes out of Trump's mouth, it really just have to take it as a soundbite. But he's saying that India is going to start taking oil from Venezuela. Uh, we'll see what happens here in the next week or two, but sound bites are sound bites. They don't mean nothing. And then I wanted to bring this up. It's all over the news right now. This Nancy Guthrie, right there from day one. The reason I'm not talking about it is because right there from day one, none of this made sense. And it still doesn't make sense today. It almost seems, this is my opinion, it seems like an inside job, but I'm not here for my opinion. I'm here to deliver the news. So you guys can watch that Guthrie stuff. You're not going to find me talk about any of that because right there, it's like listening to Epstein files. And then what are they really covering up with all this nonsense news? Something about this just doesn't make any sense. And then Cuba, flights to Cuba are now canceled for all tourists from Canada. There will be flights through Sunwing and Air Canada to get stranded Canadians out of the country. And I would like to do a shout out to Mark Carney. Carney, we've had a good relationship with Cuba for quite some time now, and I would like to see Canada as a country, kind of start to help out Cuba. And due to the fact that there's around roughly 750,000 Canadians that go to Cuba every year as tourists. Some people even have homes there as well. So us as Canadians too, if you're a tourist and stuff, like realize that you're taking food and things from these people being there as a tourist, which isn't helping that as a country. So unless like I'd like to see our country maybe do something, maybe send some aid, send some fuel, get them up and at least running with power, and then let's worry about food and other things after that. But I think Canada should step in. I'm not too worried. Like, we're already in enough hot water with Trump as it is. I don't think helping out Cuba would be that significant with the trade market. I don't think we're going to get hit with much more tariffs because of something not like that. And then anyone watching the Olympics right now? Ooh, Lindsey Vonn had quite the crash in downhill speed slalom. She shouldn't have even been on the hill in the first place. She was still dealing with an injury, and now due to this crash, she that ended her career. She will no longer be competing for the Olympics. So very sad news, but I understand you're injured and stuff. You're there. Is it worth really ruining a career? You could have had another day. could add another day. You know, the Olympics isn't your whole life, but that's just sad news. And then four-man bobsled team out of Belgium. Anyone see that crash? Ooh, that reminded me of the back in the day. What was it? Cool Runnings with John Candy and the Jamaican bobsled team. It just reminded me of that crash all over again. As far as I know, minor injuries, but that bobsled sled luge is pretty hacked up, which is going to be a lot more difficult for other lugers. Hopefully they did all the skeleton crew and all the light stuff first, because that's going to really mess up bobsledding for the rest of the people after them. And back to Canadian news. Satan's Choice Motorcycle Club, after being rebranded for roughly 30 years. Harley Gwynden's headquarters in Oshawa, Ontario, had been somebody attempted to firebomb. Not significant damage at his headquarters. And this is his merch store, tattoo shop. There's multiple businesses located at this clubhouse. Well, I wouldn't say clubhouse, let's call it the headquarters. And it's kind of funny that this happens while Harley is in Asia expanding the Satan's Choice Motorcycle Club brand worldwide. And this could be retribution for some nasty talk between the 81s, which are the Hells Angels, and Satan's Choice. There's a lot of bad blood between both of those groups, a lot of just bad juju between the two clubs. Harley left and left on really bad terms, and other people that should have been kicked out of the HA should have for some of the things that they do, like, you know, beating their kids and their wives and stuff like that. Who wants a member like that in your motorcycle club? Save the beatings for the other bikers. So this beef, this is going to be continuing on for a seeable future, due to the fact that Satan's Choice and HA, like, I don't know, they never really had big beefs back in the day. The only reason they patched over is because the main leader, Harley's dad, the Frog, had ended up getting sent to prison, kind of leaving the Satan's Choice in some turmoil and loss of leadership. So this is why they ended up patching over to the 81, or the Hells Angels, as you'd call them. And Portugal, over to Portugal. Portugal has a new leader. His name is Sierro. Seguero is his name. He won with a landslide vote, and he's more of a separatist side to the socialist parties, if you kind of want to say that. We'll see what happens here. It was a landslide vote. There's definitely no voter fraud or anything I could find about that. But we'll see what happens with Portugal in this new kind of regime change. And farms here in Canada are now looking into using canola as feed meal for cattle, chicken, and swine. So your pork as well. You guys know anything about canola oil? Do you guys really want to be eating meat fed with canola? I think we have probably enough canola in our diet as is. Let's go back to the good old shortening days, you know, where people, you know, seem to pickle themselves alive a lot longer. And then back to the Olympics again. Daniel Olbing nearly hit a squirrel in her tandem parallel giant slalom. Man, she like just missed that squirrel and came out with a win. Good for her. I couldn't see what medal she won. For some reason, it wouldn't show me, but came out with a medal, so good for her, especially after that's. I bet you that squirrel scared her as much as it scared the squirrel. Did I miss anything on here? Yes, I did. GM is recalling on, has a big recall on their L87 V8 engines, due to the fact that they put the wrong oil. So recall on these suspected vehicles, around 60,000 vehicles roughly is what I'm seeing here. It could go up. So what they're gonna do, you bring your car back to the dealership. They're gonna do a compression check. If the compression's good, blah blah blah. They're just gonna swap the oil out. So they're using a zero W40 compound, and now they're gonna go to a 01W40. Um, they say it's gonna be a quite a significant change just adding that type of oil, and I don't know. That's interesting. I guess they're just trying to be more like environmentally friendly. That's why they use this original oil. But you might as well have just put canola oil in your engine. And BMW has recalled 87,000 US vehicles as well for starters overheating in the cars, which could lead to fire or wiring harness failures. So I don't know if you guys look your BMWs up, check that out. It's a quick swap. They're just going to swap out the starters, and you shouldn't have any issues after that. But I would be concerned about some heat damage around your wiring, around the starters, and stuff like that, due to the fact that BMW is not your average vehicle. Well, I guess they're pretty comparable to US vehicles now with all the electronics and everything else. Uh, t- And the Canadian Armed Forces member who died in Latvia, investigation is still ongoing. Don't actually know what happened to him. He is back on Canadian soil now. His body will be laid to rest here within the next couple days. But as soon as I found out what happened to him, I'll totally let you guys know. Uh, by the sounds of it, it wasn't a training exercise. I'm almost thinking it was something outside of the base that happened to him, whether he might have been hit by a car or maybe fell down some stairs and maybe died fatally that way. But that's almost kind of what's getting played out right now. Within the next, I'm hoping by this week I'll have some answers to that. And a U.S. sailor was sentenced to 200 months in jail after they're supplying the Chinese with military information. I think that's kind of a bit of slap on the wrist. 200 months. That's a bit of a slap on the wrist for being a Chinese spy. Um, you think the military would have a lot more strict prosecution for something like that? And ooh, right before I went on air, there was a crazy Heat. If anyone's ever seen the movie Heat, there was a Heat style armored car robbery in Italy. Uh, Two cars pulled up, armed men with machine guns, some men wearing spray suits, completely covered up with AK-47s, pulled over an armed vehicle in the middle of a highway in broad daylight, put a satchel charge, a shape charge on the side of the armored car, blew the side out of this armored car and robbed it. And this just recently happened, so I don't know what's going on. I'll try and have more information about this tomorrow. But that it was like watching a movie. You like I can't believe the person filming had the steady hands. As soon as that bomb went off, the whole highway was just a cloud of smoke. And then you see the guys come in and clearing everything up. As far as I know, nobody had been shot or harmed. So these guys were real professionals, especially with using shape charges. Not gonna find at your local hardware store kind of stuff. So that's interesting. So hopefully I have more news for that tomorrow. Uh, yeah, so that's pretty much it for news today. I'm not going to talk about Epstein, and you know I won't talk about that. I'm not going to talk about anything that I find misleading or just a waste of time on here. I'm just going to tell you straight up facts of what I find is actually important in the news. Not a lot of trade deals today. Still a talk between India, UK, India, US. Um, Still nothing really solid happening there yet. And here, oh, might as well do this. For anyone watching the Olympics, the medal standings right now. So in first place right now, we have Norway with one gold medal, or 2 silver, and 6 bronze. And then in second place for medals, we have Switzerland with 1 gold, 1 silver, 5 bronze. And in third place, we have the land of Japan, the great island, Fukushima, bringing out those nuclear soldiers. They got 2 gold medals, 3 silver, 7 bronze. And in fourth place, we have Germany with 1 gold, 1 silver, 4 bronze. And US is sitting in fifth place with 2 golds and 0 in the rest. And then Canada is sitting in 17th place with only 2 bronze medals right now. Come on, Canada. Come on, it's winter here like half the year. We should be like really doing this. Come on. So that's pretty much it for medal standings. I'm only going to do the top highlights ones there, and then Canada. And then things that happened today, on February 9th, in the world, this day in history. 1964, the Beatles made their first television appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show, bringing in around 73.7 million viewers in 1964, creating the Beatlemania, Beatle fever, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so yeah, there's a big step for the Beatles. And there's probably a lot of people right now like, who are the Beatles? Well, people probably don't know who the Monkees are either. And then another thing, today in February 9th, 1775, British Parliament announced that Massachusetts would be a part of the colony as part of the rebellion. Yeah. So that would have been part of the Don't Tread on Me movement back in the 1700s there, in the late 1700s. If you guys, there's the Don't Tread on Me snake, and what's the other one? There's another one with a snake too, but it's curled up. But there's the Don't Tread on Me where the snake's cut into pieces. That would have been Massachusetts would have been a part of that. And then people's birthdays today. It's Joe Pesci's birthday. Little Joe Pesci. Always playing in mobster movies, great actor, love him. Also in Home Alone, he was the short little stocky guy. Was it Merv? No, Merv was the tall guy. I can't remember the short guy's name. But he was also in Home Alone 1 and 2. And then Michael B. Jordan, he is 39 years old today. And that's pretty much it for today's news. 18 minutes, that's not too bad for a Monday's news. Sorry, I'd go on weekends, but it's always the same nonsense and you're not going to find too much. But basic news, what you need to know, and anything else is a waste of time. So now you don't have to go and watch your regular news broadcast that lasts about an hour with all the ads and everything. You can just come here and in 30 minutes or less, you got it all here with no BS. Okay, so see you guys here tomorrow. Thanks for popping in, Shannon. That was awesome. Tune in every day. I'm here every day, Monday to Friday, 4 to 4:30. That's Central Time. And yeah, let's see how this week goes, you guys. If there's anything I was missing, something you guys wanted me to talk about, hit 2-4. Anything I missed, anything you guys want me to talk about, put out. And oh, Shannon, I'd love to hear some input on that truck show you went to down in the States. I'd like to talk to you about that. Maybe have a quick sit down or something. Maybe 15-30 minute chat maybe later this week. Talk about what happened there and what's happening new in the trucking industry. Maybe get Shannon's views on there. That'd be interesting. You were at ground zero. What better person to talk to? But I'm out of here. Everyone have a great week if you can't be there for everything. And I don't know. You can always rewatch the shows after. But no point watching yesterday's news because that's old news. Okay. Peace out. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Oh, waka 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 waka.